From Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel's School for Building Effective Teams, this is Kurt Berglund with Payoff Pitch Dream Season Sportspage number 13. That's right, friends. We have cleared 13 games for all 26 teams in the Payoff Pitch Dream Season. 13 in the American League and 13 in the National League. In this sports page, you'll get all the scores, all the highlights, and the standings for the Payoff Pitch Dream Season games of 13, number 13 for all these teams. It's an 18-game mini-season plus playoffs that we're looking forward to in the Payoff Pitch Dream season, and so we are definitely on the home stretch. And Game 13 produced some surprises and moved a number of teams either toward playoff contention or toward golf season. Let's get started. In Chicago at Wrigley Field, a huge series in the National League between the 2018 Brewers and the 1984 Cubs took place. Game 1, of course. All these games, number 13, all these are Game 1 of 3-game series. The Brewers were victorious 2-0 over the 84 Cubs. Christian Yelich with a solo homer in the 8th inning gave the Brewers the 1-run lead that they didn't relinquish. However, Ryan Braun followed that with a triple and was later doubled home by Mike Moustakas for the Brewers' second run. Fastball Freddie Peralta was the winning pitcher for the 2018 Brewers. Rick Sutcliffe was the loser. And Josh Hader earned a breathtaking save, striking out Keith Moreland to lead off the bottom of the 9th, and then giving up singles to Leon Durham and Ron Cey, who left for pinch runner Davey Lopes. Then Jody Davis was at the plate representing the winning run in the ball game, but he struck out, and Gary Woods pinch hit for Larry Boa, and he popped up, and that was your ball game. So the Brewers beat the Cubs 2-0. The Red Sox, the 77 Red Sox, were hosted by the 77 Yankees. It's one of the best games I've ever played in any sim. I'm not going to spoil it. Go back and watch it. I still have goosebumps thinking about it. Unbelievable game. I'm not going to even tell you who won. We're just going to go over the standings later. The 1969 Mets were hosted by the 1964 Yankees. That you saw on the channel. The Mets won in 10 innings, 9-6. Home runs in the game. Cleon Jones, a solo shot for the Mets in the 6th. Joe Pepitone, a 2-run dong in the 2nd for the Yankees. Phil Linz, a solo homer in the 2nd for the Yankees. Roger Maris, a solo in the 5th for the Yankees. And Elston Howard, a solo in the 8th for the Yankees. But when the 10th inning came around, the Yankee bullpen imploded. And the Mets were able to win. They scored 4 runs in the 10th. And highlighted by a pinch double by Bobby File. To give the Mets the margin of victory, a bases clearing double. He later scored on a single by Art Shamsky. The Mets got 1 back in the bottom of the 10th, but not nearly enough. The winning pitcher was Tug McGraw. The losing pitcher, Steve Hamilton, who I love and in other games is awesome for me. And in this one, Steve Hamilton can't get anybody out in payoff pitch, which I'm sure is just luck of the dice. So the 69 Mets beat the 64 Yankees 9-6. In Milwaukee at County Stadium, the 69 Tigers visited the 79 Brewers. The 79 Brewers defeated the 69 Tigers 2-1. Home runs in the game, a 2-run shot for Cecil Cooper for the Brewers in the 1st inning. giving them, I'm sorry, it was a 3-1 victory, 3-2 victory. What am I doing? It's a 3-2 victory for the 79 Brewers. Mike Caldwell, the winner. Denny McLain, the loser. That has big implications. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. In Chicago at Comiskey Park, the 87 Tigers visited the 83 White Sox and won 7-2, Tigers over the White Sox. Home runs in the game, Alan Trammell, a grand slam in the 7th inning and for the Detroit, and Mike Heath, a solo dong in the 8th for Detroit. None for the White Sox. Walt Terrell was the winner, complete game for him. And Britt Burns took the loss for the White Sox. Also, big implications for the playoff race. In Minnesota at the Hubert H. Humphrey Baggy Dome, the 77 Twins visited the 87 Twins. And the 77 Twins romped 12-3. Home runs in the game, Glenn Adams, a grand slam in the 5th for the 77s. Gary Gaetti, a 2-run bomb in the 1st for the 87s. And Kirby Puckett, a solo homer in the 3rd for the 87s. Jeff Zahn, the winner. Joe Niekro, the loser. 77 Twins over the 87 Twins, 12-3. In Chicago at Comiskey Park, the 87 Milwaukee Brewers visited the 77 Chicago White Sox, and the 87 Brewers finally won a game, 8-0. Home runs in the game, Paul Molitor, a solo in the 4th, Greg Brock, a 3-run bomb in the 6th, and Jim Gantner, I said Jim Gantner, hit a solo in the 9th. Chris Bosio went the whole way, a 3-hitter, a 3-hit shutout for him as the Brewers beat the Sox 8-0. In Washington at RFK Stadium, the 83 Brewers were hosted by the 69 Senators. The 83 Brewers won 11-4. Home runs in the game, a 2-run shot by Mark Brohard in the 1st, a 2-run shot from Paul Molitor in the 7th for the Brewers, and there were no homers for the Senators. Don Sutton, the winner. Barry Moore, the loser for Washington. In Los Angeles at Chavez Ravine, the 77 Dodgers hosted the 79 Cubs and won 4-2. Home runs in the game, Rick Monday, Ron's in the 2nd, Ron Say in the 4th, and Steve Garvey in the 8th. All of those were solo homers. Rick Rhoden, the winner. Mike Krupko, the loser. Rhoden went the distance. Dodgers beat the Cubs 4-2. In St. Louis at Sportsman's Park, the 64 Giants were hosted by the 64 Cardinals and won 4-3. Home runs in the game, Orlando Cepeda, a solo in the 2nd for San Francisco. Duke Snyder, a solo in the 3rd for San Francisco. Willie Mays, a solo in the 8th for San Francisco. And Willie Mays, another solo in the 10th for San Francisco to give the Giants the winning margin. No homers for the Cardinals, no surprise there. Bob Shaw, the winning pitcher in relief. Bob Humphreys, the loser in relief. Billy Pierce, the save for San Francisco as the Giants beat the Cardinals 4-3. In Montreal at Jerry Park, the 87 Cardinals visited the 69 Expos, and the 69 Expos continued to spoil everybody's season. 8-5, the 69 Expos were winners. Home runs in the game, Ron Fairley, a 2-run bomb in the 3rd. But the Expos had 10 hits, and they were efficient. Steve Renko started but didn't pitch long enough for the win. He was relieved by Dan McGinn, who did get the win. No homers for the Cardinals in the game. Winning pitcher, Dan McGinn. Losing pitcher, Bob Forsch. The save goes to Roy Face, who pitched 2 innings in relief, which was amazing because Roy Face in 1969 was 74 years old. In Philadelphia at Shibe Park, the 83 Braves were visiting the 64 Phillies in a lot of games would be the game of the week. Not this time because of the Red Sox-Yankees unbelievable game. But this one was really good. The 64 Phillies beat the 83 Braves 6-4. Home runs in the game, Art Mahaffey, a 3-run dong in the second inning. Ed Roebuck eventually was the winner. It was a back-and-forth game. Ed Roebuck won it. Donnie Moore lost it. Jack Baldwin with a 2-inning save for the Phillies. Phillies over the Braves 6-4. In Chicago at Wrigley Field, the 69 Cubs hosted the 83 Phillies, and the 69 Cubs won a very important game, 3-2. Home runs in the game, Ivan DeJesus for the 83 Phillies, a solo in the third. There were no other homers in the game. Fergie Jenkins won the game for the 69 Cubs. He pitched a complete game 5-hitter. And the loser was Ron Reed in relief, who not only got the loss, but he got tossed for arguing with the umpires. All right. Those are your scores and highlights. Let's look at the standings. What you see in front of you are the standings for the American League as of the close of business for Game 13. First place ball club is the 87 Tigers, who are now 9-4 and have now climbed the mountain, and they are king of the hill for at least for the moment in the American League with 5 games to play. They are 9-4. In second place, we have 2 ball clubs tied, the 79 Brewers and the 69 Tigers, who have fallen quite a ways. They are 1 game back at 8-5. Then come the 83 White Sox, the 77 Yankees, the 77 Red Sox, the 77 Twins, all at 7-6 and 2 games back of the lead in the American League. That's third place. Fourth place, the 87 Twins, the 77 White Sox, the 87 Brewers are 3 games back at 6-7. Then come the 64 Yankees and the 83 Brewers at 5-8, 4 games out, and the 69 Senators at 3-10, 6 games out. Then I draw this line right here. And in this column, you see the number of games out of the playoff picture these teams are. We have 5 teams make the playoffs in each league. So 1, 2, 3 would be in if the playoffs started tomorrow. And then 2 of these 4 would make it. These teams at 6-7 are 1 game out of the playoff picture. These 2 teams are 2 games out of the playoff picture, and the Senators are 4 games back in the playoff picture. So nobody has clinched anything yet. However, the 64 Yankees better get going, and they're going to need some help to climb not only over these 3, but over 3 of these 3 as well. They have 6 teams to climb over to get into the playoff picture, and that doesn't look real likely. So the battle is probably between the 6 and 7s and above for the 5 playoff spots. Let's look at the National League. Here we have a different picture. We have the 2018 Brewers, who have clinched a playoff spot. Well, actually, that's not true. They have clinched a tie for a playoff spot. That's it. 1 more win would get them in for a clinch with 5 games to play. They are in first place at 12-1. The 83 Braves and the 69 Cubs are in second place, 3 games back at 9-4. The 84 Cubs and the 69 Mets are tied for third, 4 games off the pace at 8-5. If the playoffs started tomorrow, these would be your 5 teams. Following them are the 83 Phillies and the 64 Phillies, tied at 7-6, 5 games back. Then come the 87 Cardinals and the 69 Expos at 5-8, 7 games off the pace. Then come the 64 Cardinals, the 64 Giants, and the 77 Dodgers at 4-9, 8 games back. And the 79 Cubs also happen to be in the league. So, with these 5 teams in the playoffs as of today, of course that can change, the Phillies are 1 game back of the playoff race. The Cardinals and Expos are 3 games back of the playoff race. And the Cardinals, Giants, and Dodgers are 4 games off of the playoff pace, but they also have a number of teams to climb over to get there, which is also a factor as well. It's one of the reasons I put interleague play in this as one series of the 6 for these teams in this mini season to try and get the records jumbled up a little bit. It sort of worked, but it's still going to come down to games, and we still may have a playoff to get into the wild card game. We'll see what happens there. But so far, it's working better in the National League than it is in the American League, where we've got this huge cluster in the middle. There's a little bit of a cluster in the middle of the National League, but not nearly the scope that the American League has, with 7 ball clubs right in the middle. That is where we are for Sportspage number 13 for the Payoff Pitch Dream season. I'm Kurt Berglund. Thank you so much for following along with the Dream season. Appreciate your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, all that good stuff. It's been a lot of fun, and we still have 5 games to go. Games 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 are all coming up. So, stay tuned, keep watching, and thank you again. We will see you very soon with the first game of the Game 14 set that will be on my channel. Thank you again. So long, everybody.